Hello and welcome to Happy Handicrafts. My name is Joanna and today we are going to be making a Paper Sloyd letter holder. This is the 17th project from the third year from the book Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades by Ednah Anne Rich. Now y'all, this was a doozy. It was difficult to make. It took a long time and there was a lot of measuring and cutting, but you know what? We made it through and we'll get you through it too. So let's get started. The materials you're going to need for this project are the book, Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades by Ednah Anne Rich. If you don't have it already, I'm going to put a couple links below, one for you to download for free, and another one for you to purchase if you prefer the hard copy. You're also going to need a compass, a pencil, an X-Acto knife, a ruler, some glue, a cutting mat, and some good quality paper. The book suggests using Bristol board. We actually use two different colors just for interest's sake. The back of the letter holder, we use some good quality cardstock. And for the two pockets, we use some patterned scrapbook paper, which made it really pretty. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut out a 4.5 inch by 10 3/4 inches rectangle. So we measure down on the left from the top to 4.5 inches and we draw a dot. Then we move the ruler in to the right and we measure down from the top to 4.5 inches and we draw a dot. Then using our ruler, we join those two dots with a line. This is going to be the back of our letter holder. We're going to make this model in 3 different pieces and then we'll assemble it at the end. Now at the top, we're going to measure into 10 3/4 inches and we'll draw our dot. Then we can measure down, move the ruler down and measure in from the left 10 3/4 inches and draw another dot. And then we'll join those two dots with a line, creating our rectangle. Now, using our X-Acto knife, we are going to cut out the rectangle. Now place your rectangle horizontally and measure along the top and place dots at 5/8 of an inch and 6 3/4 inches. And then do the same along the bottom. Place the dot at 5/8 of an inch and 6 3/4 inches. And then using your ruler, join those dots. Next, using our ruler, we're going to place 3 dots on that first line. We're going to put the first dot at 5/8 of an inch. The second one at 2 1/4 inches. And the last one at 3 7/8. Now you're going to get your compass and you're going to set it to 5/8 of an inch. Now place it on the center dot and you're going to draw a half circle around it to the edge of your rectangle. Now you're going to place it on the other dots and you're going to do half circles as you see Lucy doing here. Next, using your ruler, you're going to place dots at the top and bottom at 1 1/4 of an inch. Now using our ruler, we're going to draw a line from that dot to the vertical line, touching the ends of the curves, as you see Lucy doing here, where the curve joins that vertical line. Now we're going to use our pencil to outline where we're going to cut. Sometimes it's not super obvious, and we certainly don't want to make a mistake after all of our careful measuring. So we outline it first. This is totally optional, but it's something we've started doing as a practice. Now, using our X-Acto knife, we're going to cut out the back. Now, once the back is all cut out, we are going to move on to making 2 pockets. We're using a nice decorative scrapbook paper for this. We're going to begin by making a 4 7/8 of an inch by 6¼ inch rectangle. So we're going to cut out 2 of them at once. As you can see, Lucy is measuring down from the top to 6¼ inch. At first, we're placing our dots, and now we're going to join those dots with a ruler. We're going to cut out 2 of the rectangles right now, but we're going to show you, just for the sake of time, we're just going to show you one of the rectangles. So you're going to follow along with us, then you can pause the video and make a second one if you like. Now we'll measure in from the left at the top to 4 7/8 inch. We'll place our dot, and then on that horizontal line we just drew, we'll measure in again to 4 7/8 and we'll draw a dot. Join those 2 dots with a line. Now from that line, we're going to continue to measure along the top to 4 7/8 and draw another dot. And then down on that horizontal line, we'll measure in and we'll place the dot at 4 7/8. We'll use our ruler to join those 2 dots, and as you can see, we're going to have those 2 rectangles. Now we'll get our X-Acto knife and we'll cut out those rectangles. And there we are. Now we're going to place one of those rectangles horizontally, and we're going to draw dots on the left at 3/4 inch, 1 3/8 inch, 4 3/8 inch, and 4½ inches. Then we'll do the same on the right hand side. We're going to measure down from the top and place the dot at 3/4 inch. We'll place another dot at 1 3/8 inch. Then at 4 3/8 inch and 4½ inches. And now using our ruler, we're going to join those dots with 4 lines. Now we're going to place 3 dots on that first line. The first dot is going to go at 1.5 inches. So just place a dot. Then at 3 1/8 of an inch. And then at 4 3/4 of an inch. Next, we'll grab our compass and we're going to set it to 3/4 of an inch. Then we're going to draw a half circle around the center dot, going out to the edge of the paper. Now set the compass to 5/8 of an inch. And we're going to draw curves around the other dots. Now with our paper back in the horizontal position, we're going to measure on the second horizontal line, and we're going to place dots at 1/4 of an inch, at 5/8 of an inch, at 5 5/8 of an inch, and at 6 inches. And now we're going to draw slanting lines from the ends of the curves to the second dot. And then the same to the third dot. Now we'll use our ruler to place dots on the third line. I'm going to measure it carefully. We're going to place a dot at 3/4 of an inch, at 7/8 of an inch, at 5 1/8 of an inch. No, sorry, 5 3/8 of an inch. It's easy to mess up here. And then 5 1/2 inches. And then do the same along the very bottom. Place a dot at 3/4 of an inch, 7/8 of an inch, 5 3/8 of an inch, and 5 1/2 inches. And then you're going to connect these dots. Then we're going to draw slanted lines from the dots on the third line to the dots on the second line. This might not be clear, so follow along with Lucy's what she's doing. She's drawing dotted lines at this point because these are fold lines. We're not going to be cutting these lines. This should also be a dotted line, but it's not a big deal. Now next, like we did before, we're going to outline where we are going to, or we're just kind of reinforce the lines where we're going to cut. Like I said before, it's not always very obvious when you've got a X-Acto knife in your hand. So you want to make sure that you're cutting exactly along those lines that you need to. So we just outline it, and it makes it a little simpler in the long run. Don't forget along the bottom, we'll outline that as well. There's a few small cuts there that we don't want to miss. Now we'll use our X-Acto knife to do the cutting. And don't forget, we're going to make 2 of these. So once you've got this one cut out, you can pause the video and go ahead and do the second pocket. Next, let's use our ruler to make those initial fold lines. Once we've made an initial fold line, we'll use the front of the ruler or any flat surface to kind of reinforce that. This makes nice, crisp lines, and actually with this project, it makes it a lot easier to do the gluing. So I would definitely recommend this step. Now let's glue the bottom pocket onto the back of the letter holder. This can be done in a variety of ways. We found that it was easiest to do one fold at a time and secure the glue, because these pockets are going to stick out on the front in order to hold the papers. There's a little tab there that you want to be sure to get, and then we glued. So we did one side and then the bottom and then the other side. With this bottom pocket, you want to make sure that all of the flaps are folded along the back, onto the back, and pasted onto the back. We made sure those edges were firmly in place before we started with the second pocket. The second pocket is going to go along the line in the middle of the back. We started with the bottom of the pocket this time because it's going to paste onto the back itself. Again, we found it best to make sure that the glue was dried before proceeding. And then we did the tabs. And those side tabs are going to stick onto the back of the back. And there's our finished project. It fits some nice little envelopes, and I think it really is beautiful. This might be one of my favorites, even though it took some effort. How did yours come out? I think we'll be using ours. As always, thank you for following us. Thank you for crafting with us, and I hope to see you in the next video.